Hi, I'm Sean. And this is Sean for Help. So, for first-time viewers, I want to say, hey, thanks for being here. We do deeply appreciate it. My wife and I, that is. She's my inspiration. But we wanted to thank you for coming along and seeing what we got to offer you anyway, just because I'm trying to do my best to make your life a little bit easier. I may not have all the answers. I definitely can say that with certainty. But I have a few that I might be able to help you with, and if I don't know, I'll point you in the right direction, at least get you taken care of. Today what we're going to discuss is more along the lines of what setting aside your thoughts in meditation is about and why. I'll do a little bit here because we're going to do an example in a bit. But for right now, what I wanted to say is that I didn't quite cover why you're trying to set aside your thoughts. It's because your thoughts can actually cloud out what you're trying to do by just trying to find some peace. As your subconscious is delivering up your thoughts, if you focus on them, they're going to give you more of them, more of that type of thought, more of various other thoughts that you've had in the past that you were really focused on. Your thoughts really do come up from how much energy you put into something. A good example is, imagine something that you were really, really passionate about, that you put a lot of energy into, and it was like an award that you got, or a promotion, or you really wanted this job, or you wanted to ask this person out, and they finally said yes because you got the courage up to ask them out, and they were like, yeah, I've been waiting on this. A lot of this is that your thoughts are brought up by the opportunities that are available throughout the universe that are brought up by your subconscious. Sounds kind of crazy, but trust me, it's there. If not, well, you don't have to believe me. It's cool. No worries. Very light and easy with me. Really it is. But just understand that when you have thoughts coming up and you want to set them aside so that you can focus specifically on your meditations, you want to be able to be gentle with yourself, just like I'm trying to be gentle with you. So, looking at why your thoughts come up is one thing that you should focus on just for the moment of understanding. But set that aside too. You shouldn't have to focus so heavily on the idea that the thoughts are going to control you. No, you control your thoughts. Really, you do. Just gently set them aside. Thank them, because at that point in time you're giving gratitude for everything that's given to you, because you've always been asking for this stuff whether you believed it or not. If you think about it, your subconscious is bringing it to you, don't you think you want to be a little bit grateful for the fact that it's brought you some stuff? If you're not grateful for some of the small good things that it's given you, you're not going to be grateful when it starts bringing about the great big things that are good for you. So think about that for just that point, then gently set it aside. It's just a tool. It's not the end-all be-all. You're not a victim. You're not being controlled by this. You can gently set it aside and do what you're going to do. The real simple thing is, who said you had to believe your thoughts? Well, who? Obviously you did. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It is. But that's personal responsibility at a level that you're going to have to just deal with. So take a moment to breathe and go, it's okay. They're just thoughts. Do they manifest into something fantastic that beats you up right here and now? Let me see here. I'm going to think about a thought of, I don't know, some situation my wife's beating me with a frying pan right now. Obviously, there's no frying pan being put to my head by my wife right at this moment. Doesn't mean she wouldn't if I really screwed up. But let's look at it that thought was just vapor until something was put to action with it. See where I'm going with this? So let's look at that as that you can set these thoughts aside. You don't have to be controlled by these thoughts. Maybe in politics you're put off by something that somebody said. Fantastic, they said it, so what's the big deal? Most politicians put out all kinds of promises, and 99.9 run those numbers out times 9. Yeah, that percentage. I mean, I'm trying to even think even bigger than that. I'm just trying to get to the crazy of it. They don't keep their promises usually. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle you want to go in any direction in politics, whether it be the two parties of the United States, the several parties of Canada and the UK, and all the other craziness of the world. I don't care which political leaning you have. Generally, most of your politicians don't usually keep things straightforward. So why are you upset about the fact of what they said? You haven't seen them do anything yet. Again, your thoughts are controlling you. If you don't like what they're about to do, get involved. I understand that. Do the best you can, and I don't have to agree with your politics, but I do have to agree with the idea that if it's bothering you that much and you think that something needs to happen, maybe you should be a little bit more involved in the discourse of what's going on. But that's also acting on a thought that you agree with and seeing things reasonably. Meditation's the same thing. If you allow your thoughts to come up, you're no longer really meditating on what you're doing and staying aware and focusing on things. You are now running in a fantasy world of your thoughts, playing in the universe, and you're nowhere near here. You don't even hear my voice because you're in your thoughts. Think about that. So to have more control over yourself rather than you letting your thoughts run away, there was a version of the Bhagavad Gita that I remember reading that had wonderful depictions of different examples of what they were trying to show in there, of where you're sitting in a chariot as to who you really are, and your ego is running away with the five senses, having a grand old time while you're sitting back there in the back of the chariot going, oh my God, why are we doing this? And that's the reality of what's really going on. So let's take a moment to look at that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do this practice. I promised I would do this. And I'm going to give you a moment to hear some of the thoughts that come up in my head. Now, I'm going to do this where I'm going to stare off. It's going to seem a little weird because I'm going to look like I'm a little bit of an automaton, but I'm practiced in this and I know how to do it well. A little bit of a catch in my throat today. Want you to see when this comes up. We have about roughly, I think science has estimated something over 60,000 thought moments in a day. I haven't followed up fully with that. I've seen a couple articles, but I'm not going to post them here. It's not relevant. You just know that you have lots of thoughts in a day. I mean, anybody can agree with that. And that as they come up, you're not able to respond fast enough to some of those thoughts. They're just like, boom, they come up real fast at times. But I'm going to share with you as much as I can as they're happening and then trying to gently set them aside. And then eventually I may not respond for a moment because I'm so deeply into what I'm doing that I'm slowly letting it go so subtly that I'm not even able to respond to you because I just know where I'm at and what I'm doing within me. Again, focusing on yourself, your breathing. It's my technique that I use most times. There are other times I use just focusing on being sitting. And then just the presence of feeling exactly everything about myself. Exactly that. But we're going to do this right now so you can see a rough idea of what's going to happen. And I'll do a hand gesture just going, thank you very much. And that's all it is. When I do that hand gesture, I'm going to say what the thought is, and then I'm gently setting it aside, and that's my attitude of pretty much saying thank you very much. So give me just a second here. All right, let's begin. Thinking about my audience. Try to make sure I got the point right. Concerned that somebody might not get this right. Trying to be gentle. Is everything okay? Stuttered my breathing. So as you can see, as I was going further and further into the meditation of just trying to pay attention to my breathing and how I felt, a lot of my thinking came up thinking about you guys. Concerned, am I going to convey the right message? Is everybody going to see this the right way that I'm trying to see through my own eyes and share it with you? Are we going to be able to get that message conveyed properly? All these thoughts. Again, very honest thoughts. One where I had my breathing was kind of stuttered. I got a bit of a catch in my throat. But that's okay. Things happen. They are what they are. Can you change it? Well, I can keep coughing this up, get something to drink. I can work with that. But I can't necessarily fix when somebody might get something out of whack and they misunderstand me and then they take that as the absolute and they don't want to hear anything otherwise. Sometimes I can't fix that. So I just have to accept, okay, I've done what I can and I've tried to fix it. Moving on. You can't always fix everything, and some people won't listen to you otherwise. A great example of that is when you're getting into your meditations. I had a great conversation with somebody here recently that I was just thinking about that running a million miles a minute in my head, and I sat down and I was like, okay, it's time to meditate. I just want to take 5 minutes to myself and try and get myself clear so I can focus on what I got to do next. And I couldn't let go of these thoughts. They just wouldn't quit. And that's okay. The secret of some of these things of what I haven't told you is there are going to be days you're going to have thoughts just won't let you go. That's all right. In some cases, if you're having a lot of thoughts that come up, it's upheaval is another way of looking at it. There's a lot of upheaval. You're upset, frustrated, overly excited, a whole bunch of things going on at once, and you just have a lot going on. Everything's just arising out of you. It means that you're probably getting close to an evolution in your meditations the further along you get. In the very beginning, your mind is, they call it monkey mind because it's just like a monkey bouncing from tree to tree to tree. And I know that one very, very well. My thoughts go crazy. So that little monkey in my mind, I try to make him friends and occasionally offer him the banana and say, why don't you calm down for just a moment? Here, just set aside. Let me set you over here, buddy. And get him calmed down. And no big deal. Besides, I actually like monkeys a lot. It's kind of one of those things. My brother was called Gibbon when he was younger, and my pet name, I'll leave that alone. My father's kind of silly about that. But that's where you have to see that through experiencing it over time, that once you all of a sudden have a great period of calm and you're just like, I had a great meditation. Well, actually, that might not be a great one. You were just at a lot of peace. And that's different than a good meditation. A good meditation is all this garbage comes out of your subconscious and you deal with it by just sitting there watching it and not attaching to it. You don't have to attach to it. So let's go ahead and stop with this one. I think I might make a third part on this one because these get long and I try to keep them short. And I might try and do that again today. I was going to do it yesterday, but I got caught up in a few things, and it is what it is. But let me see if I can make another one today. I want to kind of expand on this for a third part because there's a lot to discuss about thoughts. Other than that, I hope you liked the video. If you do, please hit that like button. If you want to hear more, hit the subscribe. I'd love to have you on board to see what other things we can discuss. And if you really want to find out more about when it happens, hit the notification bell. Hopefully they work. Other than that, if you'd like to, please make a comment down below. I'd love to see what you have to say. Maybe there's another topic. I do have a video coming up that I'm going to be discussing. Somebody brought up about the idea of when people are just thinking that they're always right and they run the conversation. And this was brought up from another comment from a previous video. I'm going to bring up that one too. But other than that, have a great day. For those who don't believe in God, I say love and light. For those who believe other than Christianity, I would say namaste. For those who are Christian, God bless you. Thanks.